Just waiting on Shreya to join us. Is the sound good? Is everybody able to hear us? Hear me clearly? Okay, we're connecting to Shreya. Hi!
Hi, Tia. How are you?
I'm good. So many people have joined us, and it's so nice to be able to do this with you. How are
It's
you
my
doing?
pleasure. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so happy to see you. Your face brings so much joy to not just me, everybody who knows you, sees you on screen, and knows you personally. You are an epitome of positivity and
Oh,
smiles and happiness. And we need it so badly right now, don't we?
oh God, you know exactly how to make my heart smile. You
Oh,
always
come
do.
on. Oh, come on. Of
Well,
course,
it's
you do the same.
shared love, shared respect. I'm sure
Thank
lots
you.
of people are going to discover how we've been a part of a mutual admiration society for many years now.
True that. True that.
I don't know whether you saw my introduction for you, but I mentioned a few of the songs that you've sung for me over the years, that you've given voice to in films that I've been a part of and songs that I was a part of. Bolo Na Tum Zara from Fight
Yes.
Club.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Then there was Aguntuk from my first Bengali film.
Bengali film.
Very few people know that my mother is Bengali and we can speak Bengali. So
True
I
that.
think people will be happy to discover that we share a little bit of that commonality as well. Dekho Raste Mein from Hum Tum Aur Wo,
Ah,
one of the
right.
sweetest
God, of
songs ever. Then there's Rab Rakha from Love Breakup Zindagi.
course.
And then all the songs you sang for Bobby Jasus, Shreya, my first production with Vidya Balan, and what
Yes.
fun we had working in Shantanu studio. The food
Yeah.
we ate, the
Oh
golf
God.
we did, the adda that happened post every
God.
session. You remember how much chaat we ate?
My God. I think every recording was just music to bahana tha. It was mainly to just do adda and the food sessions. That's actually how it is with Shantanu. You know that he just makes sure that we are all well fed, so we forget the pain. In fact, I remember the fact that when we were doing one of our songs, I think there was a whole dancing session in the studio for about half an hour on that song. Everyone did ball dancing, Swanand and everyone. You guys were dancing so much. And yeah, I have some sweet memories of Bobby
I've
Jackson.
got
And of course,
goosebumps. I've got goosebumps because it's one of the most special memories of my life. Actually, I have to admit that every time I have been with you in a recording studio, I have felt so alive. The energy is so tangible, so palpable, and so beautiful. But my most favorite memory is the most recent one we had, which was you coming to Yashraj Studios. You
yes,
and Sunidhi, both of you actually came in
yes,
around the same time,
yes.
and you recorded Mere Desh Ki Zameen, which was a wild anthem that we made for India.
Yes. What a
It,
beautiful song and for what a wonderful cause. I cherish that as a one of the greatest memories of my life and having to do not just music, but for something so special. So I just have to thank you for making that happen.
no, I'm just so grateful you said yes. We were also grateful you said yes, but I've always known in my heart that you never say no to anything that matters to you deeply. I want to talk a little
Yeah,
more about that right now with you, Shreya.
right.
Um, you know, the world right now is witnessing such a extreme situation. I don't think we've, in our lifetimes, at least in yours and mine, I'm sure, for more, actually in many lifetimes. I mean, even the elderly in our families have been through riots and other situations where they've kind of had to stay home in curfew time. But I don't think we've witnessed this kind of displacement and pain and loss. And those who are privileged enough to stay home, stay safe, be close to their loved ones,
Hmm.
use technology to communicate, to continue work, to do
Right.
things that really matter to them, are getting the opportunity to just say, witness nature. For one, I'm seeing a lot of people, sharing on social media sunrises, sunsets, bird song, just images that they're seeing from the windows of their homes or the terraces of their apartment complexes. And I think we're collectively recognizing how important it is to just stop,
Right.
pause a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, as an artist, as a singer, I know that you would have done Robindro Sangeet.
Yes. Of
You've
course.
learned.
I Bengali family, so we've grown up listening to this. Most
So
of it
there's
I've
a
learned from my
song.
mom.
So there's a song by uh, Rabindranath Thakur called Akash Bhora Surjo Tara,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it's a song that reminds me that, actually, coming to think of it, so much of music and so much poetry and so many songs are all inspired by nature, and we are actually would be so at such a loss if we didn't have inspiration from nature. Tell me, what is your earliest memory of
Mm,
anything from that was inspired by nature that really struck you deeply, that you sang a lot, that really connected with you deeply?
I think yeah, I don't think many people know, but I don't, my childhood was not spent in a big city like Mumbai. I came to the city when I was 13 years old. So I grew up in a quaint little township in Rajasthan. And when you hear Rajasthan, you think it's an arid desert kind of a place, but it wasn't. It was very green. We were on the banks of river, uh, actually, Chambal जो नदी है, उसके banks पे we had a huge dam on it, and we were surrounded by just greenery and trees and mountains, and we used to trek, we used to hike, we had picnics all the time. So I have grown up i- amidst such proximity of nature that I've literally woken up to the alarm of not जो अभी के alarms होते हैं ना which has a bird tweeting to it. I have actually woken up to birds actually tweeting. Um, so I think my connection with nature has been from the very beginning, and I'm very grateful to that. I didn't have the distraction of, I wouldn't say, I would say it's distraction. It was not something I missed. I'm glad I missed it in the initial years. We didn't have restaurants, we didn't have theaters. I've not seen a movie in a theater till I came to Bombay. So, so having that kind of peace and minimalism in life really made me learn music much better. I mean, I could hear every sur without any, auto की आवाज नहीं आ रही है, truck की आवाज नहीं आ रही. It's just rustling of trees and wind passing through the mango trees that we had in our garden, and um,
Squirrels.
yeah,
Squirrels.
and squirrels and literally because वहाँ पे जैसे summers आने लगे, so you could start hearing the koel. It was the indication now the the season is changing, and I mean, I have just beautiful memories, and every season had, I remember songs that I've grown up listening to with each season. Like, I remember monsoons, when it's just like monsoons, I had to travel about 80 kilometers by ST bus to get to my Guruji teacher. The nearest city was that far. And we had to pass through a jungle. So we have had so many such incidences when on the way there was a leopard which crossed, and so the bus kind of stood and just waited for it to cross so that it could go and drink water. I've had that proximity to wildlife in that way, and I really love the fact that we were a township of scientists and engineers. We were in my dad worked for a nuclear power plant. He's an engineer. But the people, locals there, respected nature so much. They lived with it. That's the beauty of, I feel, most of the rural India kind of understands the the effect and the power and the harmony that you need to live with, your fellow creatures and your, चाहे वो jungle हो या creatures of the jungles हो. I think I have been very fortunate that I've witnessed it. I miss it now. That I live in cities.
That was, I'm not surprised to have heard anything you told me, although I've heard all of this for the first time. But I think there's this amazing book called Last Child in the Woods by Richard Lowe.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's a scientist and he's a psychologist, and he's written this book and where he actually describes how important it is for children to interact with nature, because
Hmm.
that's what determines their psychology for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
And it is and I'm actually convinced that our interaction with nature should not stop at childhood. It should continue through adult life,
Continue.
because nothing makes us feel more alive, more happy, more positive than getting time to witness, whether it is birds and their activity, or butterflies or bees, or just sit under the cool shade of a big tree, or walk
Yeah.
barefoot in grass, or
Yes.
hike a mountain and stand on the top with your arms open.
Yes. That's
And
true.
it gives us so much perspective. Nature always gives us perspective. Is there a song, a childhood song that you want to share? Because I know that all your followers will love to hear one of your favorite. It could be a folk song, it could be anything that you remember.
Uh,
Have,
Childhood
have I
songs.
stumped you?
No, no, I mean, there are so many songs because I was learning music that time, so every song was part of my curriculum more than anything else. But yes, I have my first memory of music was my mom singing. I was very little, and I probably picked up one of her songs that she taught me, and it's a song called, I don't think I remember the words now, but it's a Bangla song. Hmm. দূরদীপবাসিনী দূরদীপবাসিনী চিনি তোমারে চিনি চিনি তোমারে চিনি দারুচিনির দেশে তুমি বিদেশিনী গো সুগন্ধ ভাসিনী দূরদীপবাসিনী. That's all I remember.
How
One of the
wonderful.
first songs I learned. I was probably
What
four
does it
years old.
mean for all those who
God
don't
only knows.
know? Oh, আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে. Do,
না
do you
কেন
remember?
জানো, there are some songs that are just words for me because I never later tried to even understand what these words meant, because these were just first vocabulary I was learning through music, so I never cared much to learn.
No problem. Okay, so I actually found a anonymous quote that really resonated deeply with me, and I think it's a reflection of what we've been talking about. Nature is not a place to visit; it is home.
Hmm. Yes. You know what? I think more with this lockdown, I think people are starting to understand that. And suddenly I have just realized that in the past few days, the air is cleaner in the city, and there are more birds all around us from the balconies. If I wake up in the morning, मुझे इतनी different different birds दिखाई दे रही है. पहले तो वो सुनाई भी नहीं देती थी. You start realizing that nature is here. It's your home. You have stopped listening. You have stopped looking. And as they say,
और
Mother Nature.
आवाज हमारी इतनी बढ़ जाती है जब हम सब सड़कों पे होते हैं या बाहर होते हैं, कि जो जो नेचर साउंड्स है वो कहीं जाके डूब
दब
जाती
जाती
है,
है.
दब जाती है.
Absolutely. And if you just let nature in, हम कितना abuse करते हैं हमारे, especially, every city has its own beauty, like mangroves है हमारे city के जो हम लोग destroy करे जा रहे हैं. The Mithi River is gone. I don't want to now talk about that. That just breaks my heart to just see how abused our rivers are in this city and the mangroves. In spite of all the, construction and kachra, everything that's clogging every exit point of the city, in spite of that, give
Nature
we
still
gave
finds
just
a way to
still
shine.
absolutely. It has just been forgiving so much, like constantly forgiving us for our, our sins,
Nature
I would
is
say.
nature is very giving, very, very forgiving. And it's amazing how many lessons she teaches us every day. Do you remember
Absolutely.
Mere Desh Ki Zami? Do you want to sing it before we wrap
Yeah.
this wonderful conversation?
Yes, I think I keep seeing what you are doing constantly with WTI, Wildlife Trust of India, and your constant efforts to make people aware. And I've seen you go to schools and talk to, students and talk about, and you've played the song. That anthem is so beautiful,
You
not
can't
just the song.
imagine how people respond to that anthem.
I
Children, their
know.
eyes light up, Shreya. They sit there in awe. And so many of them, when I ask them, do you know that all of this footage in the video is from wildlife across India, our forests in
That's right.
India? And many of them
Amazing.
can't believe it. And I'm
True
like,
that.
this is not even a small percentage of how much biodiversity and how much variety of species we have in India. And I think what
Yes.
really connects with people is the lyrics that Prasoon Joshi wrote and how
Yes.
beautifully Benny, Vishal,
Vishal,
Sue,
Sunidhi.
Sunidhi, the children and Clinton
Yeah.
sang that
Clinton.
song.
Amazing. I just keep hearing it. बीच बीच में ना सुनती हूँ गाना. And for the footage also, it sounds so beautiful. Of course, it gives you like a tug in your heart, and it just fills your heart with joy just to see how beautiful the shots are. And just as you just said कि वो समझ हमको पता ही नहीं है हमारे कंट्री में क्या amazing variety of flora and fauna है. And we go to like हम जब जाते हैं, we go to US and other countries and we go to national parks and we are just in awe of everything, and we don't know what our own country has. So I'm so glad with this song. I think a lot of people will come to know about this. और ये गाना मैंने थोड़ा सा लिख के रखा है. पूरा गाना नहीं लिखा है मैंने, पूरा पूरा याद नहीं है मुझे, तो मैं जितना है टुकड़ा दिया सुनाती हूँ. कैसे ना प्यार आए बोलो, क्यों ना बाहर आए बोलो, प्यारी है मुझे देश की जमीन, मेरे देश की जमीन, मेरे देश की जमीन हो, प्यारी है मुझे देश की जमीन, मेरे देश की जमीन, यहाँ ना कोई कमी हो, प्यारी है.
Wow. Ah, मेरे गाल दुख गए मुस्कुरा
Oh,
मुस्कुरा के. Thank you, Priya, for
my pleasure.
filling our lives with love and laughter. I hope we can continue to use our voice and our hearts to make a difference. And
Yeah,
yes, I look forward to being a collaborator with you on many, many more things that I know you feel deeply for,
yes.
especially for wildlife and nature. And I
You know
hope
how.
all your fans who've joined us here from across the world will go away from this conversation inspired to do their little bit in their own way every day, whether
Yes,
it is to refuse single use plastics or it is to save water, turn that tap off while you're soaping your hands as you
yes,
stay home, stay safe.
yes.
Little things, small actions that can make a big difference. And
True.
I love you,
I love
and
you
I'm
too.
so grateful that you could join. We could start off this series of conversations with people that I hope to continue till World Environment Day 2020. And Earth Day is on the 22nd of April. And
Yes.
it's a day that I think many of us will again connect on. And I'm really, really grateful. Thank you
I have to thank
for
you,
making
Dia.
the time.
Continue. Continue doing what you're doing. You are one of the only people in our industry. I see you have given your heart and soul to this cause, and I want to be always, whenever you call me out for anything, you know that I'm there because I strongly feel for the same. And everyone who was watching this, all the fans who've joined in for this live chat, and anyone who is going to watch this, just the message that छोटी छोटी चीजों से भी बहुत असर होता है. चाहे एक छोटी सी बूंद हो इस ओशन में, फिर भी बूंदों से ही वो तो ओशन बनता है. So please be aware, alert about every action that you take is somewhere causing some harm to the environment. So be as much as possible, conserve, have compassion to your fellow animals, birds, you know, पौधे हो, पेड़ हो. Be aware of it. Start looking at them and hearing them. That's all, isn't it, Dia?
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Shreya. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your time. And thank you to everyone who's joined us live. We wish you health, health,
Yeah.
health, love, and peace. Stay home, stay safe.
Bye.